What up guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life here today and I'm back with another video. Now today's video I'm going to be doing the little mini series I mentioned in my last video where I'm going to be making a mini series going throughout modern day Dragon Ball and how I would, fix the story. Now I've done it kind of before a little bit in the past, but it was more like if I had full creative control over Dragon Ball and the directions I would take it as a whole. But this one, I'm going to go based off of the stories that we were already given, but improve it in ways where I can, make it where we can all enjoy it. So I'm going to stick with, the Battle of Gods, Resurrection of F, everything that happened throughout, Dragon Ball Super, Broly. I'm going to keep with those. I'm just going to change it to ways where I feel like it could have been better done. Because my other videos, it was just, if I had the chance and opportunity to do this, I would remove this completely. Because in my one, I said I would get rid of, Resurrection of F altogether and just replace it simply with a movie about Yamoshi and the Saiyan's backstory. But in this one, I'm not going to be changing those things. I'm going to just changing the stories that we've been already given. So this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F. I know in the title I mentioned just Resurrection of F. I want to put in Battle of Gods because I'm not going to have much to talk about it, so I'm just going to combine these two, and I don't want to make the title too big. So I'm going to go to this, then after this I'm going to go throughout the different arcs of, Super, Broly, and then the manga arcs and what I would have done, and that would basically be the series. So yeah, let's get into the Battle of Gods. Personally, I love Battle of Gods. I mentioned this in my other video where I talk about what I would change. I love the Battle Gods movie, but I also do appreciate the anime, and I think it would have been perfect to have a perfect blend of the two. Like the setting and the anime had a great setting with the ship. I think that's great, but I do like the changing of locations in the movie more. So I would have kept the setting on the cruise ship and from the anime, but I would have moved to the same places that they moved throughout the movie. Also, I would keep majority of what the anime added in, minus the whole, stupid stuff like Oolong doing rock, paper, scissors or wasting all the time. I would condense it as, for movie format, but I'll make it longer than the original, Battle Gods movie. I think it was like an hour, 30 minutes at most. I would make it at least 2 hours long, just extend it out. Why not? Basically, what I would do is I would keep Goku and Super Saiyan God longer, like in the anime. I'll have the power scaling with the universal level threats, and Goku having the ability to, regenerate. Because I thought that was cool. Because we are on my channel. You guys know me. You guys know, you guys are the same type of Dragon Ball fans that love power scaling and love characters being ridiculously powerful. A lot of fans, Dragon Ball fans, don't like that. And that's fine, but for us personally, we love that shit. That's the main reason I made this channel, because I love, power scaling Dragon Ball. Though I think it's complete trash at what it's become, I still do enjoy doing it. So I would love to see them powerful. I think the movie did a good way to showcase how much more powerful they got, but the anime showcased an actual feat. Being able to threaten the universe is impressive and it's cool. Whereas in the movie, they didn't show anything on that level. It was just him saying he will destroy the solar system, which Cell already stated that before, so it's nothing special with that. So I'll keep the universal level thread. I'll keep the punches, but I'll just do it a little more creative way. Basically, I wouldn't change too much. The only things I would really change is a few things that I didn't like some of the dialogue. One, I would not have Beerus mentioning that when he was fighting against Goku, he was surprised that Goku would be able to beat Frieza until he went Super Saiyan. I'll get that line out there because I think Goku should be able to body Final Form Frieza with one shot at that point. I don't in base. I don't think he needs to go Super Saiyan to beat him. So I'll get rid of that line. I'll get rid of the line where he states that Vegeta made him use 10% of his power. I'll never use him actually stating any percentage of power, just alluding to what type of percentage, but never giving it out, because I think that destroys the immersion of illusion of how powerful he is. I would also, get rid of the Vegeta, his rage scene. I wouldn't get rid of it completely. I'll just have him transform Super Saiyan 3. Instead of him just raging out and getting super powered in Super Saiyan 2 and being a threat, I'll just have him go Super Saiyan 3, and then that's, how I would handle it in that regard. Everything else would be pretty much the same. It'll just be changes here and there. Also, I'll definitely carry over the Goku has the ability to, to re-heal in his godly forms. In his base forms, I wouldn't keep that, but in his godly forms, yes. Also, I will take what they did in the anime instead of the manga, where the god form got absorbed into their base. And the way I would have explained it is the god form got absorbed into their base, but their when they do go to Super Saiyan God again, the multiplier is just significantly smaller than when it first was. Like when they first transformed, they got an exponential amount of power because they need to absorb it later on into their natural state and to reach a high level of God. But once when they do, then that Super Saiyan God multiplier does not go that high up. It will go more of a conventional and natural height because let's be honest, of that he has that millions of times multiplier, billions of times multiplier, and then he absorbs into his base and then has it again with all those other transformations. It gets ridiculous. So I'll just keep it as I'll make it go back to a more naturally conventional size for it. So okay, that's what I'll do. Pretty much, yeah. I don't think I have that much else for the for Battle of Gods. Then Resurrection of F. How would I have done Resurrection of F? Now, personally, I feel like to do Resurrection of F correctly, to bring somebody like Frieza back and make him a threat, you have to do it a very creative way, very smart way, and I got the perfect idea for what I would do. So what I would have done with this Resurrection of F arc is I would have had like another connected story. I would have made Frieza the villain of this movie, but there'd be a shadow guy who created this situation, and that person is the real main villain and the villain that crosses over to Dragon Ball Super, the anime. Personally, I would never done the Resurrection F movie in what's they called, turned it into an anime because it was not necessary. I would have just kept it as movie format and Battle of Gods, but I would have continued off from that to Dragon Ball Super, and I would definitely change it. So what I would do, and I'm just gonna give a little bit of a story synopsis, is I would have a Daikaioshin or an evil Supreme Kai basically make him Zamasu. So instead of having Zamasu be a Supreme Kai, I'll have him, a Daikaishin who's like, an evil version of Supreme Kai's, like the opposite of them. And we've seen them quite a bit, never in the Dragon Ball like canon, but when it comes to like, we've only seen them really in Dragon Ball Online, Xenoverse 1 and 2, and Dragon Ball Heroes. We've seen stories of them and stuff, but we've never seen them in the main story, so I would make that a main focal point in this story, and especially since Toriyama mentioned them a long time ago, but never ever did anything with them, which I feel like is a big waste, and I felt like the, Goku Black Heart could have been perfectly done if they just did it that way. So I would have done the same thing with, Zamasu wanting justice, but since he's a, Daikaioshin, since he's an evil Supreme Kai, his sense of justice will be far more, warped than a regular person's. And, Zamasu basically what happened is he was a Supreme Kai that wanted justice because, Supreme Kais are supposed to be bringing life and stuff, and he wanted justice because he saw how evil the creatures were on, in the universe, and he wanted to wipe them out and just leave the world to be ruled by gods because the gods are all pure and stuff and mortals are like a plague on society. But I think it would have been more interesting to have him being a Daikaioshin coming from a realm full of evil beings that like evil things, and him actually being somewhat good in the sense of them because they're pure evil, and compared to beings that are pure evil, his ideology is pretty morally good, I guess you can say, but it's still messed up due to the fact that he is a Daikaioshin, and he wants to make a realm where he wipes out all the mortals. He thinks the mortals are a plague on society and they're too much of a threat, especially after what happened with Battle of Gods, because the fight between Goku and Broly in Battle of Gods, Goku unlocks his Super Saiyan God form, and as he does, he's able to, the other godly beings are able to sense it in their realm, and he senses it in the Daikaioshin realm. The other Daikaioshin just, like, you know what, we're not gonna mess with him or whatever, we're just gonna stay where we are, we're gonna do things from the shadow. And this being wants justice, but the only way they can carry out justice is by wiping out the mortals. But with Goku and now Vegeta obtaining a godly power, this being knows that it's too much of a threat, and after sensing this, knows that they need to formulate a plot to take down Goku and Vegeta, and needs some way to do it. They don't have enough power, so Zamasu in this one is gonna, test out and use experiments and plan before jumping into a battle with somebody like Goku. He's able to sense it and notices that he's a threat and he needs to eliminate him. Now, his plans will change a little bit throughout the time. He does want it to be gods, but he realizes that the Daikaioshins are purely, evil, and they don't fit with his world of justice, and they'll just be corrupt like the humans, but even more so. So he's like, yep, they should also die, but he's obviously not going to enact on it right away. He needs more power and more data before he enacts on his plan. And he would work with Supreme Kais even if he's a Daikaishin, but the fact is that they're too passive and will not be willing to, pass over the judgment. So he's like, okay, the other gods also have to die. I will, create a new world where it's pure, but first I gotta wipe out the humans, and to do that I have to take out Goku and Vegeta. How am I supposed to do that? I don't have the power even if I'm a Daikaishin. These guys reached the level that they were competing with, Beers. So what does he do? He basically tries to find a test subject to use for his plan. So he finds a way and revives Frieza, not through the Dragon Balls, but through like his power alone. He revives Frieza and brings him into the Daikaishin realm. And he obviously, this is just his plan, and he's going to use Frieza as a test subject to gauge how powerful Goku is and Vegeta is, best ways to beat them, where the potential growth will lie, and what's the best course of action to move forward, to handle them. So this is going to be a movie where Frieza's the main villain. He comes back, he becomes a threat, he gains an unspeakable amount of power. He doesn't tell them anything, obviously, but he does get that power, but he's the main character of that movie, but the bigger villain, the shadow leader, is Zamasu, who's using Frieza as basically bait and a test subject just to see it. He's like, well, if Frieza wins and kills, the mortals, the Goku and Vegeta, then it's good for me because I can control him and then end him that way. Or if he dies, it's fine for me still because I get data from that. So he sets up Frieza. He basically revives Frieza, and then he gets him, and then Frieza's like, what do you want from me? Who are you? He's like, I'm a Daikaishin. I want to, wipe out beings like Goku and Vegeta. I think the Saiyans are too powerful and I want to get rid of them. And I know you have a great hatred for them, so I can help you out. But the problem is you're way too weak at this point. And then you could have it where he showcases to, Frieza all the the changes that have happened with Goku and Vegeta and how stronger these guys got and how strong all the characters got and how much of a big threat they've become. So he's like, okay, you know what? They're too much of a threat. He shows Frieza how much of a threat they are, and he's like, is for you to beat them and want to get your revenge, because I know you do, you're gonna have to get significantly more stronger, and this will help you prevent you from going back to hell. So Frieza's like, okay, bet, I'll do it. I'll work with you. What do I have to do? He's like, okay, I'm going to help you obtain godly power. The only way you can match another god, people with godly power, is to have godly power or to have, unbelievable power. So this will be the setup for why Frieza got stronger. I felt like the reason why they did it in the movie was very cheap and lazy. They just said, oh, he never trained a day in his life. He came back, he had a high potential, trained for 4 months. I think if they do it in a creative way like this, then it will make sense and there'll be no problem. So basically, what does he do? He has Frieza, basically, there's these golden apples that create the Supreme Kais. There's, I think, an evil counterpart version of it too, in, what's the thing called? In the Daikaishin realm, and he basically say this is an apple. These golden apples create the Supreme Kais. But if I use my magic and like science way, like Fu and Dragon Ball Heroes, I'm gonna basically. He basically has like a scientific but also magical mind. So he manipulates the apple to be basically not turn into a Supreme Kai or Daikaishin or whatever, but just purely stay like a godly apple, and whoever eats this apple would obtain godly power. So he gives it to Frieza. Frieza devours the apple enacts a godly power within Frieza. So now Frieza has godly energy in him. He can sense godly energy, and he does have divine energy in him. But that still would not be enough to give Frieza the edge in beating him. So basically, this guy's gonna help out Frieza throughout the entire thing. One, he scientifically and magically modifies the apple to give Frieza godly power. Then he will be training Frieza to control and know how to work with his newly found godly power. Train him in another dimension, like in how they did with the Granola arc, where he trained 10 years in another dimension. Have him train in the dimension that 10 years pass, and he gets basically. He gets godly power from the golden apple. he gets 10 years of additional training by another godly being to teach him how to do it. And then for even more, power, he basically does what, if you guys played the Dragon Ball Legends game, the main villain has the ability to increase their power. Also, you've seen it in Xenoverse. So basically, he would use his dark, magic to amplify Frieza's already high potential like they got. So that's how I would give Frieza his power boost. Give him a godly apple that gives him godly power. Have him train in another dimension with a Daikaijin for 10 years, teaching him the ropes how to do it. Basically, getting multiple power boosts, also getting scientifically, magically modded, and then also getting dark power amp. So after that, Frieza's ready to set out on, taking down Goku and the rest of the gang. And we have this Daikaijin also resurrect the rest of his dead army. Because the army should have been wiped out at this point. He resurrects the rest of the dead army, so you see Zarbon, Dodoria, the Ginyu Force. You see them all back, except for, Captain Ginyu, because he didn't die. So you see them all resurrected and back again. But what's the thing called? They're zombies. I would make them zombies. So there will be like superpowered zombies that are resurrected. So basically, think of Zarbon, Dodoria, and the rest of the guys, all zombie versions of them, and they also get a power boost with his dark magic, amplifying them. Not enough to be crazy, super crazy, but enough to give them some damage and stuff. Also, the fact since they're zombies, they could they can't just be killed eventually. You have to completely you have to obliterate them completely, but whatever. So then we have Frieza setting out there with his new demonically god powers and with his zombie resurrected, evil crew. They go there, they fight, Frieza gets them to jump all of the what's the thing called? Gets them to fight the rest of the guys and have them more powerful. Also, I would have Chaozu and Yamcha in the battle, not Master Roshi. I know a lot of people are like, well, Master Roshi's a bigger fan favorite, but let's be honest, it's not logical for Master Roshi to be in that fight since he can't even compete with Raditz, who's weaker than an average Frieza soldier. So how the hell did he get that much more powerful? I don't like BS power boosts. It has to make sense, and for somebody like Master Roshi, his time has come and passed. I would have not used him. I just used Chaozu and Yamcha, because even though they're not that powerful or that liked, they are still quite powerful beings, and I think they deserve some level of respect. So yeah, I would have them in the battle. I'll have basically the scenarios playing out. I would not have Gohan being ridiculously weak. I would not have him be so pathetic that he can't even go Mystic. I'll keep him at I'll keep his power a little bit weaker than what he was before because he hasn't trained, but he would still have his Mystic and Super Saiyan 2. I don't know why he could barely go Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 1. I would not do that. So I'd have him like that. I'll have Beerus, doing all that stuff, and then, have, what's the thing called? Have Beerus and them come down to there. Also, not have Frieza know about, Frieza could know about, Beerus. I think that's fine. But I don't want Frieza to know about Buu. I don't think it makes sense that his dad would know about Majin Buu and stuff, but, Beerus wouldn't. I think that's just idiotic. So I would have never done that, but yeah. Basically, then I would have made the story back to like how it was where, Frieza is fighting against Goku in his final form, and he showcases his godly power, and Goku's wondering how did he get so powerful, but he's not going to tell Goku. He's like, I'm not telling you jack shit. Like, I don't need to tell you anything. So he's fighting him, and as he's doing this, we just see Zamasu in his realm watching Frieza and analyzing what he's able to do so we can set up for the future of, Dragon Ball Super. So he's watching them. Then we have Frieza fight him. Frieza, still, even with his power boost and his final form, is not strong enough to be base Goku, so that's taken into consideration. Then he goes into his ultimate form. Now, I do not like Golden Frieza. I do not like the design of it. I do not like the name. I think it's very generic and basic. I would love his transformation to look something like Cooler's final transformation. Not exactly like Cooler's, but a similar, esque design. Because Cooler's design was insanely, badass, but Golden Frieza was lame. So I would have made his design similar to, Cooler's. Also, I would not make it, so I'll make him design to that. Also, I would not make him golden colored. I'll make him more like red and blackish to make him more demonic. So I'll make him look demonic mixed in with Cooler. So like a Cooler, demonic Cooler version with red and black designs. and he's fighting Goku, and then Beerus notices something. He's like, man, his power seems unnatural. Not only did he get insanely strong in a short amount of time, but or yeah, he came back, but he got stronger. But he's also dangerously more powerful. Whatever. Like, how is he this powerful? So basically, you have him fight Goku. Have also, I would not have Vegeta, just obtain Super Saiyan God from through training. He would also have to go through the ritual to obtain Super Saiyan God. And what I would do is have Goku fight against Frieza. Frieza's beating up Super Saiyan God Goku, and Super Saiyan God Goku is just like surprised, like how am I getting beaten up by this guy? He's destroying me, and Frieza basically takes him down and is about to kill him, but Vegeta jumps in and fights him. Now Frieza is beating up Super Saiyan God Vegeta, and Super Saiyan God Vegeta is not really a match, but Vegeta has a trick. He's like, I have another form hidden underneath this, and this is where he unlocks Super Saiyan Blue. Now, once again, I'll change this up completely. I would not call it Super Saiyan God. I'll call it Saiyan God, and then I'll call their second form Super Saiyan God, because it would just be God form mixed in with Super Saiyan. And I would not make it just a basic blue design. I would have made it a little more unique and more creative. Maybe have some glowing tattoos on him, glowing tattoos, like more ridiculous looking hair, like different appearance. I don't like the overly simplistic design. I think the simplistic design for Saiyan God would be fine, but for Super Saiyan God, I think the design needs to be a little more cool and badass. Maybe look like a mix of what's it called, Super Saiyan 4. He could actually just take Super Saiyan 4's design with a bit of like glowing tattoos on him or whatever. But also I would make his fur golden, but his hair red. That's what I would do, yeah. I would make him look like Super Saiyan 4 with golden fur, red hair, red yellow flaming aura, and I'll have him have glowing red tattoos around his body to signify, the changes of the Super Saiyan God transformation. And Vegeta would be the one to unlock it. In the movie, they had both Goku and Vegeta unlock it, and they just had to get it dogged. In this one, I would have Goku stay in God form, and have Goku get in, beaten up, and have Vegeta unlock Super Saiyan God, which would be, replacement for Super Saiyan Blue, and have Vegeta beat up Frieza. Because before, the reason what's the thing called Frieza won before was because, well, what happened before was Frieza was stronger than them and he just lost because he didn't have control of his power. I would have not liked that. What I would have done in this one is just have it where Goku was not in Super Saiyan. He didn't have Super Saiyan Blue. That's why he's getting beaten up. And their newest form would be, stronger to beat him. So once Vegeta goes into his Super Saiyan God form, he's easily beating up Frieza. Now Frieza is on the back burner getting beaten up even with his new demonic godly power. He's struggling, he doesn't know what to do. And as what's his name? As Zamasu sees this, he starts to increase his dark influence on Frieza. And he's like, you know what? They showed a new power. This is good. This is more data I can take in and absorb. So I'm gonna need to find a way to go against this and beat this. So what should I do? He basically then would just amplify his power to the point where he maximizes him. The reason why he didn't do this before is he wanted to see his power and didn't want to add on more to him until he knew that he was in danger. And the way he does it, instead of just giving a bit of more power, he gives him max amount of power. Now this maxation of power not only maximizes power to a high level where he would surpass Vegeta, but it would be to a point where it's unhealthy, where his body can't handle it and his body would start to break down and damage because of the overpowered energy within him. So as Zamasu is amplifying him with the power, he gets significantly more powerful. He's beating up Vegeta now. Vegeta is on the back foot, but Vegeta is still strong enough to hold his defend himself, but not enough to fully beat Frieza. Frieza's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. He gets Goku's sense of being. Goku gets back up, and Goku he's fighting against Frieza, and then Goku obtains, his godly form too. He obtains the Super Saiyan God form right after Vegeta, because he got beaten up by Frieza and he could feel like the power and Vegeta being there. I would have had Vegeta train with Whis more to obtain this new power, while Goku, he came in a little bit later, so he was close on the cusp of obtaining that power. He just couldn't obtain it yet, and Vegeta had it, and Vegeta wanted Goku to go first because he wanted to see if he should use this, because he doesn't. This is his first time using this, Super Saiyan God form, and he doesn't know what drawbacks it would have. So he wanted to see if Goku can handle it, and also Goku just wanted to do it. So Goku also obtains it, and now it's two Super Saiyan gods versus this demonic godly Frieza, and demonic godly Frieza is just getting too powerful that even both of them can't handle him. But as this is happening, the power starts to overwhelm him, and it starts to deteriorate his body to the point where he's not getting more powerful, he's getting actually weaker, and he's getting destroyed by that power that's amplifying him. Zamasu sees this, he's like, oh, his body can't even handle it, even with the godly power. It's too, chaotic, and this experiment has shown that he can get more powerful. I can make a being like somebody like Frieza to get insanely more powerful, but it also can be very dangerous. So Frieza is now getting deteriorated, and both Goku and Vegeta are severely damaged, but Frieza is losing it, and Goku and Vegeta now are just going in to end the fight and trying to go in for the kill. And they have to hold back him from, obviously, what's the thing called? They have to hold Frieza back from wiping out the universe or the macrocosm, because as he's getting more violently, he's more and more like not holding back, and the more it's getting dangerous. So Goku and Vegeta basically have to go all out. Goku and Vegeta work as a team. Goku gets Frieza trapped down, and Vegeta delivers the final attack, killing off Frieza, ending him off once and for all. That's the end of Frieza. And Zamasu gains enough, information, but he's like, I'll still need to do some more research. And then you just see him go in the back in shadow. And then the end of the movie would be like, they would be talking about how did Frieza come back? How did he get this powerful? His power seeming unnatural. Is there somebody else behind this? And that would lead up to the anime. Now, a couple of things that I forgot to mention that I will be mentioning here is I will also change a couple of things, a little bit more about Battle of Gods. One, I would have made the Goku and Beerus' battle in Battle of Gods deep in outer space. Personally, I felt like them keeping them grounded to Earth is kind of annoying. Let's be honest. These guys, at this point, especially with godly power, should be able to fight in the cosmos. We've seen so many powerful characters out there that aren't even as powerful as Goku and Vegeta are at this point, and yet these characters can fight in deep space, but Goku and Vegeta have to stay on a planet with an atmosphere to fight. I don't like that. Also, it would make the battle scenarios more interesting. So in Battle of Gods, I would have when Goku and Vegeta obtain godly power, they don't need to breathe, so they can survive in outer space. Normally, like if they're in their base or Super Saiyan forms, well, actually, you know what I'll do? Once when he went Super Saiyan God and it absorbed into his base, it would basically mutate their bodies and make their natural bodies more godlike, not only in power but also change it physiologically. And the one physical change I would do for them is the fact that now they don't need to breathe to survive. They can go and fight in outer space without breathing. So now the future fights can go in deep space. They can fight from planet to planet, fight in a star, fight through a galaxy or multiple galaxies, fight all the way to the edge of the universe. That's what I would have done. So they're doing that also when I'm talking about Frieza fighting against them, and he's going violently, and the macrocosm is once again in danger. This fight would be in deep space, not on Earth, because I don't think that these characters with their powers should be fighting on just regular planets anymore. So yeah, I would just have Goku and Vegeta fight Frieza in a deep outer space, and that's where they'll finish him off. Goku would hold Frieza down, and Vegeta would deliver the final kill blow, finally giving one, not only Vegeta the win, but two, him getting revenge against Frieza, and giving him a main story, because Toriyama said he was, but he didn't. This way you can have Goku do something and not look like a complete chump, but still make it about Vegeta getting the final kill blow. I think it's fine if Goku helps out and holds him down, and Vegeta kills him. After this, they have the whole plan and thought of it. So yeah, thought of it. The change I would do for it would be after they win the fight, Beerus and them, they're trying to find out, but they're like, you know what? Let's just put it away for a side right now. We just dealt with the big old enemy coming back, and we just finished off the threat. And then have Goku and Vegeta be like, well, no matter whatever reason it was or how Frieza got stronger, it doesn't matter. In the end of the day, Frieza got stronger, and we're gonna need to get stronger ourselves if we want to deal with threats like that, because we don't know where they can come from. They can come from anywhere. Hell, even our old enemies can come back. So we need to be prepared at all time and train consistently and vigilantly. And that would be the end of my Battle of Gods slash Frieza, story. I know it was a little bit over the place, especially towards the ending, because I forgot about the whole deep space thing, not breathing. The reason why I chose this way is I wanted the story to have more of an impact. I feel like, Dragon Ball Super is just, we get new enemy. It's like, what are we leading up to? I want them to get consistently more powerful, but I want there to be also a story, stringed onto them. And I feel like having a connection early on like this would definitely help that out. Now, like I said, Battle of Gods, I absolutely love that movie. I don't think there was any real problems with it. There was just some minor stuff that they could have done better. And I do like the anime. I just think that there's some stuff that went on for too long. So I would have just simply combined anime and the anime and the movie, kept some of the stuff from the anime, kept some of the stuff from the movie, especially the power scaling from the anime and, some of the bigger things from the anime, but still kept the feeling of the, original movie, kept it 30 minutes longer. I would have had Goku and Vegeta and them fight. I would have had Goku and Beerus fight in deep space and have the ability to, now survive in outer space, so we can have future fights in, deep space. Also, just make Super Saiyan God called Saiyan God, and, the next form called Super Saiyan God, which is basically the more mastered and controlled version of, the godly power. And then, Resurrection of F, I would have, Vegeta would only get Super Saiyan God through the ritual, not through training. You can't get it through training. It has to be, prestigious. And I would have Vegeta obtain Super Saiyan God, which would be the second level of the godly transformation, before Goku. Though I would have Goku just a little bit below him. Like, Goku just needs an extra push, and fighting against Frieza and nearly dying and, fully healed up would help him, get back to it. Whereas Vegeta is the one showcased it. Also, I would not have Frieza just dog Super Saiyan Blue, and the only reason that they won was because his power was, he had no control over his power and he got weaker. I would have it where he's stronger than Super Saiyan God, weaker than Super Saiyan, stronger than Super Saiyan God, weaker than Super Saiyan God, but when he, gets his power amplified, he's stronger than two of them, but it also destroys his body, and then have them both finish him. And I'll have Vegeta for the win, Goku with the assistance. And obviously the main big story, having Zamasu's Daikaioshin, having him set up before, having him planning on, his Zero Mortals plan and taking out all the, beings from existence and stuff. But the way he, takes out all these immortals and stuff from existence, he needs to plan, and he needs to, think of a plot on how to beat them, what he should do, how he should use his power to beat these guys. And just have him built up that way, and then have Frieza as just kind of like being a puppet to him, and Frieza thinking that all he's thinking about is revenge, and he's getting this power boost, and that's all that matters, but he's being used for data and stuff. And, having the introduction of the Daikaioshins, I want to make it more close to, like, Dragon Ball Heroes and Dragon Ball Online. So, yeah. That's just basically how I would have done, Battle Gods and Resurrection of F. In my next video, I will be talking about how I would handle Universe 6 versus 7 tournament, and then, the Goku Black Arc, and then, obviously the Tournament of Power, what I would do with those. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed thinking of different scenarios. I'm going to think of more for the next few ones, because it is going to take me time to think about what to do. But yeah, I'm going to really enjoy it. So yeah, see you guys next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed.